Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Erlengrat. And that way we'll have three sugar beet jobs going at once. Three sugar beet jobs going all at once. Now, which way do I want? I want to go that way. I'm going to go down here. Drive on down this way. Like this. Yeah, not three. Three root crop jobs. We got one potato job, and we'll have two sugar beet jobs. The two storage areas for the train will be able to be used for the two separate sugar beet jobs, which means it will easily be able to keep track of what's going on with those. And then once we've taken enough away with the train, we can then sell the rest wherever we're going to sell it for the maximum amount of money that we can get. I'm confident that we can get a reasonable amount of money for this. I'm confident that for the three harvest jobs that we're doing right now, we should be able to get a very decent amount of money. Now, I want to try and get past some of this traffic, although this tractor is not quite as speedy as some of the tractors that we've used. This only does 43 kilometers an hour, which is barely faster than the cars that we've got on the road here. So getting past them requires a little bit more effort on our part. You've really got to cane it and keep a close eye on everything that's coming up, because if we get a car coming around the corner, things is not going to be looking pretty. Whizzing on up through here. I noticed that we did the ploughing, but it didn't ask us to go and do cultivating straight after ploughing on field 16. It's just asking us to go straight in with planting. So I'm assuming that the ploughing must have already been done. Must have already been taken care of. Not the ploughing, the cultivating bit. That's already been taken care of. This vehicle tools reserved for contract work. Yeah, I know that. It's because it touched the ground as it was coming in. That's why it said that. Suddenly bleated at us. So let's set you going. There's nothing to unfold with this one. It's a really narrow machine. Just sits like that. But we are doing canola. We've got canola set on here. I've got minimum spread for fertilizer. But what I'm hoping is that the fertilizer going on here will help. Although it looks like fertilizer doesn't actually make any difference to contracts and to the yield. It's only ploughing and weeding that makes any difference to the overall yield of the fields for contracts because of the precision farming, which is kind of weird. It is a little bit strange that it messes up the whole contract system that much. I mean, yes, we are going to be getting a bonus now that it's kind of working on orange productivity, but it still seems a little bit odd that it is doing that. It definitely seems a little bit odd. Right, I'll bring you. Helper G has got a nearly full grain tank. We'll go and deal with that in a minute. I'm going to do one more pass here, and I think I'm going to need to do a couple passes down the other end as well with this one. So we'll have a look at that once I've done down here. Put you down through that way. I know that we will have to do a little bit going up this side. Like it's a bit of an odd-shaped field here. Then there are several odd-shaped fields in this one, aren't there? Field 10 is another one that we're looking at going and doing some work on. That one's a bit of an odd-shaped field. I'll put you here like this. I'll bring you all the way back to there. And I'm actually just going to go with the hired help here for a second. And do one pass up there. Helper E has a nearly full grain tank. So that's going to be potatoes now. Oh no, the potatoes is the one that already had it. And now we've got the sugar beet. That one is just about completely full. I think I can actually just leave this one working. I think there is enough room to be turning round just for now, and then I'll come back to it and correct it later. You need to go up the other way. You're fine. You need to get up the other end of the field and turn round. You're not going to be able to... I'm going to have to drive in on... You know, I'll just drive in on top of the potatoes for that one. I know it's not ideal. Really, I should come out, but I kind of don't want to interrupt the lines on there. Can I even do that? No, I don't think I don't think I'm supposed to do that at all. I think that's going to spoil something. So, right, yeah, you sit there a minute, and we'll go and have a look at you. Right, stop there a second. I do actually want to do a couple of passes on here. So if I put this one going, do the couple of passes that I want to do. Like that. I'll set you going down through here. I'm just going to leave you there a minute while I go back to this one. Now, you're up there on 90%. So I'll go and get this tractor. That one's going to turn round, and we're going to unload that one. We'll take everything that we can out of it, and it's going to fill this trailer right up. So then... I want to keep the harvesters moving as the priority over some of the other jobs. Now, the only thing I'm wondering about is taking the Field 10 contract. Are we going to be able to finish that before 8 o'clock this evening? We should be, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem, I wouldn't have thought. I don't foresee that being any kind of issue. This one here is going to be a little bit full. I'm not going to be able to completely empty our sugar beet harvester here. But I'll be able to take a good chunk of it off. Right, so he's still got 10,000 litres of sugar beet. I'll take this one... No, actually, I'm not going to take this one straight over and empty it. I'm going to leave him there. I'm going to go over now to this one. And no, I'm not going to drive onto the crop. We will be good boys, and we won't drive on to the crop. So I'll bring you back over here. I'll try and reverse this thing up over here. It's a bit awkward to reverse, but we can do it. There. There is our Tatey-Po harvester unloading into our trailers right here. Doing a brilliant job. It's absolutely wonderful. No complaints with what's happening there. I like the look of this machine. I don't like that it does actually have to stop while you're driving along. That's the only bit of this machine I don't particularly like. I would prefer it if it was one of those that you didn't need to do that. But other than that, the machine does seem pretty good. Now, I don't this is why I didn't really want to do this. I want to just drive alongside it. So I'm not sure exactly where I should be positioned in order to be able to carry on, but I'd say that's probably okay right there. So I'll go and take you, and I'll move you out of the way. Put you off over to the edge of the field so that you're completely out of the way over here. Like that. The sugar beet is nearly half a tank in there. I need to tip that one out, but I also want to keep this one running. So let me do this a minute right here. I should be alright for most of the turning round with this machine on this field. There shouldn't really be any kind of problems with it, but just in case, I do want to do a few passes up here. It's this bit up this end. It's right up here, like right up against the corner of the road here. So I figure if I do like 3, maybe 5 passes along this very top end, that'll just give us enough room then to do all the turning round that we could possibly want to do. And then we can just let the hired help carry on, and it'll completely finish out this field. There shouldn't be any problems with it. At least that's what I'm hoping. You up there. The grass is growing. It's not grown yet, but that grass in there is growing. We won't be doing any more of the grass jobs, the baling jobs. With the Precision DLC, you just don't have enough stuff to sell from those jobs, so it's not worth doing them. So the 3 grass fields, which don't ever change, they stay as grass fields in FS19, don't they? They don't change. The other ones, they change crops all the time. But those grass fields, they don't. So we will leave those, and they won't get touched by us unless we actually go and buy those fields, which is a distinct possibility. There's no... We can buy the fields. That is definitely something we can do. The only thing that we can't do is build on any of the fields that we buy, like any of the marked fields, we have to buy the meadows, the more uneven ground, and those are the ones that we've got to use for, I think, one more pass along here would be enough. We need to do any more than that. Yeah, the meadows, those are the ones that we've got to use for building anything. If we want to be able to build anything, we've got to do it on the meadows. We're not allowed to do it on these nice flat fields. We're not allowed to do any of that. Now, some people did say, you know, there are certain fields where you buy them and you get a big chunk of extra land off to the side, so you could buy them and then you could put like a small shed up in the corner that's not technically on the flat arable piece. And ordinarily, I would look at that as a nice, tidy little loophole, and I'd say, yeah, let's go for it. But I kind of think that's going against the whole spirit of what we're trying to achieve here. So at the moment, I'm just going to say no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to refrain from sort of making use of that little loophole. And instead, I will stick to the spirit of kind of what we're doing and only build on the other bits. I mean, the first one that we're going to be buying is not going to be a flat field anyway. It's it's an area of meadowland. It's 120, whereas the cheapest field is 90,000. So it's I mean, yeah, it's 30 grand difference, but it's not kind of like a change the world difference in the price. We should be able to cope just fine with it. So I think we'll be all right with that one. Okay, so you're away and you're doing what you need to do. So the next task is to get this tipped so that I can come back and I can then empty out that sugar beet. This is already at 70%, which means that we're going to have another run up the road as well to go and deal with that. And then we can possibly get started with our next sugar beet job. Get that one going, get that one running. That would be good. Let's get you out up to here. This time, let's not try and do anything daft. When we go to tip the sugar beet out, we'll have to just back up and do this at an angle. So we'll bring it in over here like this. This is why you got great big tires on these wheels. Yeah? They go up over the side of the thing without any real problem. It's not a challenge for a trailer like this to sit up on something like that. Yeah, it's not ideal tipping it like that. It is going to be a bit unsteady on one side with the wheels up like that, but I mean, if you're careful, you should be alright. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. So we'll dump that into there. And then I can get that one back over to the field as soon as that one is finished. And I'll unload. See, he's already on 80%. He's about to go and turn round, so hopefully I can catch him before he gets down to the other end of the field. Ooh. There's a gateway right there. I don't even need to go on the road. I can just go straight through here. Ideal. Look at that. Right. We will go rushing back towards that harvester, and we should be able to catch him and take another 24,000 litres of sugar beet off. And then the next job I will do is get the next sugar beet harvest contract. Take that one, which is the field 10 one, and we can start looking at doing that. I don't know what other root crop ones there are. Kind of like in the mood for root crops right now. We may end up... I may end up regretting my enthusiasm for root crops before we finished all of this. We'll see. We'll see how this pans out. I don't think I'm going to regret it, but I might. It's the sort of thing that you look at and think, oh, I don't know. Am I making the right choices here? Do I need to be sitting down and assessing my life choices right now? Or is this actually something that we're okay with? There. And that's that one. 26,000 litres in there. You know, I'm thinking I'm probably better off just to run this straight over and tip it out. And then I got empty trailers and we're all sort of good to go. The potatoes in Harvester, they're at 50%, so don't need to worry about them. And we have just found out that we can do this a little tiny bit quicker than we thought we could, because there's a gateway right there, which we can go and use. And we are welcome to use this gateway, apparently. We spoke to the farmer, and we've spoken to all parties involved. And yes, we are. We better turn beacons on if we're driving out onto the road like that. And if we back up straight like this, then it doesn't matter, right? We're not going to tip the trailer over when we tip this load out. So we'll tip that lot up there and get those out. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go over here. So I've got field 10 harvest right there. There's field 9 harvest right here. Now, field 9, is that on my list of... No, that's not on my list of fields to avoid. Field 9, where is field 9? There's that one right there. Field 10 hasn't been ploughed. So field 10 is potentially a problem field. Whereas field 9 isn't potentially a problem field. And this is another one that goes straight to the supermarket, which I like. What I don't like is that it's a trailed one again, so it's a very time-consuming job. But going straight to the supermarket, that's a bit that I do like. The rest of these we will leave. I'm not doing cotton in this series. That's one thing I'm going to draw the line at. We're not going to do the cotton bits. Yeah. Field 10. I know we have definitely put a lot of fertilizer on field 10. But with it not being ploughed, I'm thinking that one is that's a risky undertaking. It's a risk I'm going to take. We're going to try it. We're going to see what we can do. Because we're doing another contract anyway, we have got a little bit of spare sugar beet that we may be able to use for it. So I'm going to take this one back over to the harvester that's in this field right here. And then I will... Actually, the next thing I'm going to do is get the potatoes out of that potato harvester. And I don't think I'll need to worry about that. He's not going to get completely full before he gets all the way back down here. So that should be fine. So no, I'll start getting the machinery over to field 10. So you can stop there. And you are fine. You're fine. You are loaded up. You're fine. Train is stopped down here. So I got these two here, and then I've got this one up here, and he's just doing his general business and carrying on, and doesn't seem to be having any problems here. He seems to be doing all right. That's good. Right. Let's go. Let's get this one down to the field. So we've got the exact same harvester that we were using previously. I'll put that one on there, like that. It's the same setup. It's the same set of machinery. And, right, I want this steering. It's interesting to note that this method of steering, like that, where it bends the machine and bends the wheels as well, is the steering that turns up for the standard hired help in the game. But the AI vehicle extension won't function with this method of steering. The AI vehicle extension requires rigid body machine and just the four wheels turning underneath it. So it's interesting, the two differences sort of in approach and how they do things. That one's on 88%, 90% that potato harvester. He should stop before he gets down to the end of the row, so I'm hoping that one's going to be fine. And I don't have to like back it out and turn it round or anything like that. I don't want to be messing around with any of that. Okay, let's bring you in over this way. This is a little bit risky. We may end up losing money on this. Well, we're not going to lose money as such on this contract. We may end up having to have some of the sugar beet that we've got off of some of the other stuff. But it's going to be interesting to see whether or not we get that orange colour coming up on the harvest bit, because we've definitely put fertiliser on field 10. I think we've put 2 lots of fertiliser on field 10, and we've done weed killer on field 10. We haven't ploughed it. Field 9 has been ploughed, so I know that these 2 fields over here should be about as high a yield as we can get, and that's why I kind of want to do this job on here. I'm curious to see if that fertilizer that we've gone and put on these fields, has made any difference whatsoever. Because if it hasn't, If it has made no impact whatsoever on the yield on these fields, then we're going to stop doing fertilizer contracts, because we're only just about breaking even on doing fertilizer contracts anyway. And it'd be interesting as well, because it means that we won't be wanting to invest our own money into fertilizer contracts. Now, I'm going to need to change this over a minute. So we're going to go, there's turn steering, crab steering left, crab steering right, all-wheel steering. This is the one that I want at the moment, so that I can use the AI vehicle extension to do a couple of lines along the top end of the field up here. So I can go in there, and it will allow me to do that. So I need to unfold the harvester first. Get that one out. Those potatoes are stopped. So while that's unfolding, let's just quickly go back to here. Sugar beet. Yeah, I can leave that one going for a minute. And I'll go to you. We will take 10,000 litres of potatoes off of that harvester right there. And then he can carry on harvesting this field. So it's a little bit slow. I think that we have got time also to do field 9, which is another potato job. I'll go whizzing into there and take 10,000 litres of potatoes off of that machine. As soon as I've done that, I'll move this one out the way so that the harvester can carry on again. 6,000, 7,000, 8, 9. It's exciting stuff, and we're away. Right. Yes, I know. I'm right in your way just now. I realise that. You don't need to be quite so impatient with me. I know what I'm doing. Sort of. Let's put you over to there. And stop. Right. Yeah, you're fine. See, we've got that beautiful orange colour that is underneath us. And that's what we want to find out next. So we're unfolded. We're ready to go. Everything's ready in here. So I'm just going to press H, AI vehicle extension on there. Read the field. And we're straight in and harvesting. And what colour are we getting? We're getting... It's not quite the dark red. So we should be okay for getting kind of what we want off of this, but it's not going to be brilliant. It's essentially what we're looking at here, is it's not going to be wonderful news. We are going to have a lot less return on this one. I mean, we'll still be able to do it, but it does look like fertilizer has absolutely zero impact on anything we do. So fertilizer jobs, while we've got the precision farming DLC, fertilizer jobs are out. Now, a lot of you want me to keep the precision farming because you kind of like the idea of the stuff that we're doing with it, and like the potential for what we can do in the future with it, and the different things that we'll be able to do. I'm going to let this one go all the way around the outside once. We'll do probably a couple of passes along this bottom end to make it a bit easier. But while he's getting started on that, you are doing just fine. This one over here, yeah, we can ignore that one. And you, and you, and you, and you. And I want this one. I want to get this tractor over to that field so that we're ready to start unloading that harvester once it gets a little bit full. And then we've got a potato harvester as well. So we're not going to take fertilizer jobs. We'll take herbicide jobs so we can get a sprayer. And we will be able to, so we can do our own herbicide application rather than having to lease machinery from the farmer, which ultimately, you know, we will be able to make some money out of that. But doing the fertilizer jobs, it's not something that's going to be worthwhile. At least I don't think it is. Because the jobs themselves, they don't give very much profit. They really do seem quite poor. I mean, if we put minimal quantity fertilizer granules on, yeah, okay, maybe we can do that then. But, yeah, I'm not really sure. So, we can say at the moment, just while we're doing our standard contracting like this, that we won't do them because the farmers are just dealing with their own fertilizer spreading. You know, there's nothing unusual there. It's quite a normal thing for farmers to do that. And then the more specialist jobs like harvesting the sugar beet, that's where they would call someone else in. What I do want to do is I want to go to you over here, and I'm just wondering if I want to turn you round or not. Okay, he has gone for a different type of steering here. I think he's, like, basically the hired help took over and then chose the different steering. Once it had the other steering set to begin with, it then, like, changed it itself. Maybe that's how it works. I'm not quite sure. I just know that the AI vehicle extension didn't work originally when we had the all-wheel steering and the machine turning as well. When that option was selected, it didn't like it. Complained bitterly about that. Ooh, that was close. That was very close. We very nearly sideswiped that one. Kind of wondering if I should just set the hired help going around and around this field for a little while. Right, if we keep it running round this field in circles, is that going to benefit us? I'm not sure. I'm also not sure if I should be doing potatoes over here. It's a bit of a longer run to get them back to the supermarkets. You have got the wrong setting on here, because it... Well, I suppose it's alright. Yeah, just ignore the fact that it looks like they're going out over the edge, because they're really not. I'll want the standard hired help running this machine soon. I'm not going to have it going just yet, because we're going to want it to do... Not that way. I want to go here. I wanted to do a few more passes on this end of the field right here. And the hired help is kind of needed to be able to do that. Now what are you doing? Yeah, with the triangle setting like that. Setting with the triangle edge of the field, it does struggle, doesn't it? Bring you back over here. We'll do that again. I'll put you there like that, and now I'll go. But what I'll do is I'll simply just drive along and then back out, like lift out and then drive back down to that end over there. I got 90% on the sugar beet. The potatoes are on 50%. The other sugar beet is fine. We don't need to worry about that one at the moment. That one is absolutely fine. I'm going to take you to there, and then I'm going to reverse back down here and get another. I think we'll do this twice. So this will be the first time, and I'll do once more, and then we'll possibly go down the other end of the field and do a few passes down there, just to make sure that that end of the field is okay. See, I'll drop that one into there like that. Take that up. And yeah, we did do the weeding in here, but that's the only thing it's recognizing, because lime doesn't come into it with contracts at all, and it's not going to come into it with this either. So the only things that we've got in here are ploughing and weed killer. That's the only difference it makes to crops overall, which is a little bit of a shame. I am a bit disappointed with that. I was kind of hoping that all of those fertilizer jobs would have ultimately ended up paying off. We know that the weeding jobs, they've paid off. They've definitely been worth it. And the ploughing jobs, they're also going to be worth it. But, I mean, I guess the big question is, do we still want to keep precision farming DLC now that we know that fertilizer is a complete total waste of time? Well, unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. So while I sit up here and enjoy this view and a well-earned break, could you please consider taking a look at the links in the description down below? We have Nitrado, who provide gaming servers, who are very, very reliable, and they provide us with a server on our Discord channel. And there is also Fanatical, where you can buy all kinds of different computer games for various different platforms. So if you've enjoyed this video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.